These are the stories of people who have had very disturbing experiences. Welcome to Foggy Nights. Good evening, listeners. I want you to do me a favor before we begin. Hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so every time a new story is added, you'll be notified. And with that said, let's begin. One last thing before I begin. I'd like to dedicate this story to a friend of mine who requested it. So friend, you know who you are. This one's for you. Enjoy. It was Sunday, and I was sitting waiting for the bus. Fortunately for me, the bus stop had a cover, because when the rain came down, after one sudden loud booming crack of thunder, the sky showed no mercy. It brought a coldness in the air that made me tighten up my coat around my neck. I stick my head out a little to see if the bus is coming. But the rain was so thick as it was pouring buckets, and I could barely even see the road. The two road lights that were there, with so much distance between them, it did not allow for adequate sight at night, in the dark. Puddles and small streams like little rivers filled up the road so quickly. It became difficult to see where to step my feet without getting my shoes and socks wet. Lightning lit up the sky with one illuminating flash, and I looked up and caught the vein of the sky pulsing a few times before fading out and vanishing back into the black clouds. Stunned by it all, and the tiny drops of water hitting my face as I continued to look up in awe, struck in a daze, I noticed a black cat go across the road under one of the far-off lights on the side of the road, which I found very odd, considering the conditions of the weather. Another flash of lightning igniting the dark, stormy sky in a blazing spectacle of light performing fury. I enjoyed every flash my eyes caught as I stood there, waiting for my bus. I found myself horrified and startled with a shuddering chill echoing through my body as I knew I heard a cat screeching and screaming somewhere around me in the dark as the rain continued to pour. I looked around, squeezing my briefcase in my grasp and my coat around my neck, wondering where the hell was it. I don't like the dark. You can't see what's around you. I did not see it anywhere. But as I turned around looking at the ground, trying to find it, I heard someone gently splashing and stepping in the puddles of water next to me. I turned around, and there she was. Beautiful, dripping, wet angel, fallen from the heavens. It was as though she glowed in the dark with her reddish-brown, soaked hair dripping, running down her hot pink trench coat. She had skin so beautiful, so dark and lovely. It shined and almost looked black in the dark, stormy night. She was slim with a figure a man could not help but want to feel and rub his hands down and all over. I was one of the men that was always told he's nice on the eyes, but could never see it myself. Either way, it never stopped me from taking care of myself. Either way, I could not help but wonder, what would it feel like to have her hands filling me, up and down and all over too? I disregarded my human thoughts, knowing there's no way she would want me. Surely she must be taken by some other man already, and I'm not one to be a homewrecker. I say nothing to her. She never looks at me, confirming my suspicions of being invisible to her. I turn around and continue to look up the road for the bus. The rain begins to calm its insatiable desire to drown everything. I think of home and how good it would feel to get there and get a hot shower and eat leftover steak. Are you lonely? I'm caught off guard. I turn around and look at her and mumble, "Pardon me?" I asked if you were lonely. I'm quiet for a moment, looking at her. She begins to look up and turn her face to me, and it all seems to happen in slow motion, with very little light as her eyes come to meet mine. In the stormy dark night, I catch a glimpse of them glowing a subtle yellow. I blink and find her eyes left with a mere sparkle, though in the dark I can't see what color they are. I say to her, "Well, I'm just waiting for the bus." Thinking quick on my feet, I add in, "And you're here to keep me company, so I guess I'm not alone." Ha! She looks at me with a blank stare and looks down, and she looks up at the sky before saying, I am lonely." She seems saddened by something. I don't really care to know what. I only care to see what her smile looks like on that beautiful, chocolatey, slim face of hers. How could a woman as beautiful as you be lonely? You must be noticed wherever you go. After all, you're wearing hot pink. Who wears hot pink and stays lonely? Why don't you tell me? As she looks up again at me with eyes full of longing. I feel the nerves in my loins twitch, and another chill goes down my spine, and then I decide I want to go closer to her. So I take a step, and she lets me. I say to her, "No one." She takes a step closer to me. I don't know if she's looking at my briefcase or my hands. "You do have some very large hands." It's my hands. It's my hands she's looking at. I say nothing. I don't know what to say. I want to take her home with me, but I'm nervous to ask. I don't want to seem like a pig, rather than the English gentleman I was raised to be. "Where are you from?" I ask her. "I was at a party. My friend has just turned another year older, and that's why I decided to wear hot pink. So I stand out at the party." As she giggles, and there it is, the smile of her face I was hungry to see. Downright charming, so much that I could not help but smile. I tell her, "Well, you look stunning, and it really makes your skin that much more beautiful. I mean, this woman is absolutely breathtaking. Her skin was so dark that I could not take my eyes off of her. I just kept thinking to myself, beautiful black pearl." We stand there looking into each other's eyes, deeply. The bus pulls up and we don't break the lock our eyes are holding. No discomfort, no shyness. She's looking up at me and I slightly down at her. I want this woman, but I'm just a boring accountant and I don't know what to say. And she, all wet. She looks like she is ready to be shot from Michael Kors, Prada, or something like that. I notice her nostrils flaring as I can feel her taking in the smell of me. I can smell her. My God, it is wonderful. The bus driver yells at us both, then targets me precisely. "Are you going to stand there, or are you getting on the bus? I have other stops to make. Figure it out before I close the doors and go. This isn't a love film, Romeo. Ask her. Either ask the woman, or hop on so I can leave." I break my eye contact looking down, fully embarrassed, and I say to her, "Well, you get home safe. I'm sure your husband or boyfriend will be worried about you." I step onto the bus and lean into the bus driver, asking, "Did you really have to shout all of that? Was that really necessary?" "Oh, give me a break. I pick you up, I drop you off. I pick you up, I drop you off every day. I know you don't have anybody. I know you hate your job. Whatever it is. You wear it on your face. Take a seat, Romeo. Your muscles don't scare me." I feel like I just got completely demolished by a bus driver. I don't think I have hated someone as much as I hate him right now. I go sit in the back of the bus where it's empty, so I can wallow in my pity. Then she gets on and I look out of the window, not wanting to see where she sits. I close my eyes and zone out for a bit. As I feel the bus taking off, I feel someone plop down in the seat next to me. In my mind, I'm thinking, please, God, no, I just want to go home. Especially after that 13-round knockout the bus driver gave me in front of this exquisitely beautiful woman that I will most likely never get that close to again. Now I hate myself even more. I'm angry. I don't even care who's in the seat next to me, but I feel someone lean on me, and I am ready to let my diseased dog out in full anger, and so I do. "Back off, or give me my damn space. What do I look like, a bloody pillow? My fist is coming next." As I turn ready to fire my fist with everything I've got, I see it as her. My beautiful, dripping wet angel, fallen from the heavens. I could see her in the light now. And my God, she was more beautiful than I had ever imagined her to be when she was standing in the dark of the night. Now seeing her in the light, it was clear she was trying to seduce me with her eyes, and it was working. Trying to resist the longings of my loins, and not take advantage of her, even though I felt that is what she wanted. I wanted her. Yes, her body, but also her mind. Her laugh, her smile, her heart, the essence of her. I wanted it all, and not just for a night. Frustration rises up in me, and I let it out, half excited, of course. "How do you know I'm not some kind of creep, huh? Tell me that. Do you do this with every or any man you see? How do you know I'm not some kind of murderer who has knives and blades in his bag, just waiting for the right woman to come along so I can get her all alone and hack her up into bits and leave her in a rubbish bin somewhere?" As I begin to stand up so I could intimidate her with my size. "You're very comfortable with strangers, you know that. You should be more careful." She gives me a grin, squinting her eyes just like a cat, and says, "You like it. I know you do." I fall into my seat defeated. She continues, "Besides, what difference would it make if the last bit of my life involved your hands all over my body, and life ended with you?" Well, folks, that's the end of part 1 for Dark Chocolaty Woman. Do me a favor. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and tap the bell icon. Because part 2 is coming, and you will want to know what happens next. Right here on Foggy Nights. Good night.